Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's such a wonderful day. I am so thankful to God because He's blessed me to be here one more time and blessed you to be with me one more time. And that is a tremendous, awesome blessing because He is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That means He's better than good. This is Point of View with Shirley, Cleester, Eula, and Merethah, and the other three ladies are not with me today. We're going on, and today, what? That's supposed to be what's up. I'll go back and fix that because I cannot stand that. What's up with mean people, and what causes someone to be good? Now, give me just a few seconds because I have to go back and take care of that. What's up with mean people? What's up with mean people? Here we go. So I have to change that and put my apostrophe in here. Okay. Just give me just a little bit of your time and I will get it done. Oh, yes, I will. All right. There we go. Now, all right, save it. And there we go. What's up with mean people and what causes someone to be good? Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. It's such a privilege and a blessing. And I am using my other camera. I've never broadcast live with this camera before. I've had it for a while and I finally got it to work on here. And I am so glad, so glad, so glad that I'm using this camera today. It's just a blessing. Let me try this light and see if that'll help sound. It's a little hazy. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know whether that will help. Maybe I should just turn this one off and just leave my ring light on. There we go. So, guess what? I have been trying to gather these up. I have some gifts that were given to me by Tammy. Tammy's mother made these. These people are so gifted and talented. And these, I told Tammy gave me some, and I told her I wanted to give them as prizes to those of you who watch us. I wanted to give these out as gifts, and so this is, and all you do. This is a key. I think it's a key holder, and then she says, let's ta- oh, it's a top, it's a taco, but it is a key holder. So let's talk about how happy I am. Isn't that something that you found me? And all you have to do, there's a code on here, and all you have to do is uh, shoot that code and let her know that you have this gift because she wants to hear from you for everybody. She takes these and she puts them out at different places so the people can just get them, and then they give her feedback and let her know that they got it and everything. So this would be really nice. So if you would like a gift, please let me know. I have this one also. They are so neat. They are so neat. They are so neat. Look, this is let me see. Oh, it's a frog. It is a frog, and there he is. It's a frog. Look at that. She made these. They are. I'm telling you, Tammy and her mama, some gifted people. And so, if you would like one of these gifts, because I appreciate you so much, we are going to get the T-shirts and everything, and different things like that that people can have to remind them of the show and to wear. And look at this now. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. That's a gift also. So just let me know if you want to get me. What you do is just message me in my private message on Facebook. Okay. and or yeah, on my private Facebook message. And here's one more, and I have one more. I have to find it. But look at this. Isn't that neat? Now that's a bear face. It's a bear face. He's holding a heart. Oh my goodness. And it's on here it says, I am not lost. I am just alone. If I made you smile, please take me home. Isn't that neat? So if you would like a gift, please let me know. I will send it to you. So you send me a message through my Facebook and you with your address, and I will get them to you. And get Tammy gave those. She gifted those to me to give to you. That was a gift from her mother. So, all right. Now we're going to go into our topics today. What's up with mean people? What's up with mean people? And I'm getting this from Bing right here. Mean people think they are strong because they are bullies with big mouths. If they actually had inner strength, they would build up other people as opposed to trying to knock them down. Mean people lack self esteem. And then psychology today goes into cracking the mask. I'm hearing an echo. So let me see. I think that's the radio I'm hearing. Okay. What's up with mean people? Cracking the mask. Cracking the mask of mean people. So here's how to deal with mean people without getting sucked in. So let me go ahead and get this onto my so I can monitor here. Thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate you so much, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I like my camera. This is neat. I like my other camera. Oh, let me go back. Let me get back here. Okay, now I can monitor on Facebook. Hi, everybody. Thank you again for being with me. All right, cracking the mask of mean people. Here's how to deal with mean people without getting sucked in. And this is Joanne Broder, PhD. And this is Psychology Today, talking about bullying. Don't get mad or even. Hope they get help. Hope they get help. And next, stay out of the way or it will get worse. Key points to this. That moment when someone says something aggressively rude, it stops us in our tracks to ask, did he, she, they really say that? Most of us have encountered that type of person who feels gratification from proudly flinging around toxic energy. Like a drop of acid, one nasty word can leave a scarring burn. Whether it's online or in real life, they often share secrets and spread lies. And I was thinking, and I think about it sometimes. There was something. Everything was going well at this event that we were attending, and one person came up with a negative attitude, and it was just only like probably maybe 10 seconds, and I still can't get it out of my mind. But what I did, I tried to buffer it, and I tried to make sure that I made eye contact with the person, let the person know I'm not holding anything against you, but not sucking up to the person, just trying to follow peace with all men, women. Right? All right. But I think about that. It only takes one person, one time, and then you can remember that many times for the rest of your life because it didn't make any sense. Like I was saying to uh, the person I was discussing, I said, that didn't make any sense. That didn't have to happen. It really didn't. I said, but everything was going so well. And the enemy, which is Satan, always tries to mess something up. And he will use people if they're not aware of him using them. But I thank God for his spirit that I caught it. And I'm just so thankful for that. So things can happen. People can be bullies. Sometimes they don't intend to be, sometimes they do. But we're going to learn how to deal with them. This type of person is a grown adult who should know better, as opposed to ignorant children and hormonal teens. These are adults who feel entitled to make people wince. Not all mean people have evil spirits. Underneath the mask of perceived confidence lies a vulnerable individual crying for help, and that is so true. That's why I try to look beyond that outer and try to look in and give a person the benefit of a doubt. Mean people struggle with pain. What's up with mean people? Hi, thank you for being with me. Mean people struggle with pain, regardless of its physical or emotional, if it's physical or emotional. They live in a state of pain. They live in a state of pain. So imagine a constant physical issue that needled you to the point that you felt grouchy and unpleasant. Emotions that haven't healed get triggered by random situations and people. For real. For real. Sometimes it could be you that could trigger something in somebody, and you have no earthly idea of what it is. And sometimes they don't either. Okay? Mean people are weak. Strong people cannot fathom relishing in other people's vulnerability. Mean people think they are strong because they are bullies with big mouths. If they actually had inner strength, they would build up other people as opposed to trying to knock them down. Have you ever witnessed somebody trying to knock somebody else down? Have you ever witnessed that? Have you ever done it? Has anyone ever done it to you? Have we ever caught ourselves doing something and we said, that's not like me? Why did I do that? And then sometimes it could have been like whoever the person is doing it. And then it's a good thing that the person caught themselves, okay? So if even if it was me, I don't ever want to do that. And if I have, I don't know. But because we are not, beyond era, none of us. And sometimes we can say something and somebody could take it the wrong way because they are vulnerable. They could take it the wrong way. We could say something to somebody, or we could just make a gesture and they might be offended. So we just don't know. But when we catch it, then we have to try to make good with it so people will understand. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I'm not being mean to you. And if you were offended, I apologize because I did not mean to offend you in any way. And so the thing we have to do is if someone offends us, if we possibly can, let them know that they did. And then sometimes you will be surprised that people say, oh, I did. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. Will you forgive me? And you make it good and go on. And then sometimes people don't want to hear it because they don't do any wrong, okay? So we have to go on about our business when we come into somebody like that. But I guarantee you, we can say the Spirit of God or your feelings, however you want to describe it, will let you know when, where, how, and why to approach a person about something like that. All right? So don't go past the signs of do not approach. All right? Mean people lack esteem. Mean people have a hard time handling other people's success because it reminds them of what they lack in their own lives. They might act superior to everyone else, but often don't feel good about themselves. That is so true. Mean people are followers. Have you ever seen a bully without a crowd? Have you? Have you ever seen a bully without a crowd? Think about it. They have to have one, two, three people. They have to have somebody along with them to make them feel good, to try to show off. Have you ever seen a bully without a crowd? What's up with mean people? Most likely not, since they are too weak to stand alone. Like cults who operate on the premise of groupthink, mean people usually have an entourage feeding their egos, and we know that is so true. Mean people secretly hate themselves. Now, they won't admit this. Not everyone. You might get a 0.1%, let me see, 0.0001% of the people who would admit that they hate themselves or don't like themselves. Mean people secretly hate themselves. Think about it. The negativity they put out into the world is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. This is what's up with mean people. They might take extreme measures to make themselves look attractive. However, it does not relate to genuine intrapersonal love and acceptance. It doesn't amount to that. Mean people feel stuck. When people are in relationships, careers, or other situations that don't resonate with their soul, they hold in resentment and transfer their nastiness onto other people rather than take responsibility for their lives. They blame others. So, or it says when people are in relationships, careers, and we hear the word resonate so often. Resonate. What does resonate mean? Produce or be filled with a deep, full, reverberating sound, evoke or suggest images, memories, and emotions. Okay? That's what it means. Resonate. All right? Mean people secretly hate themselves. They think about other things that they hold in resentment and transfers their nastiness onto other people rather than take responsibility of their lives. They blame others. Mean people are bored. Spreading misery takes a great deal of work, which fills the gap for those with unconsciously boring lives. People with satisfying and meaningful lives are generally too stimulated. Let me get this, and busy to hurt other people. And that's the truth. We don't not going to even try to take the time to hurt somebody else. But there are mean people or something else. What's up with these mean people? They feel stuck. So I'm going back to this where this resonate is. Mean people feel stuck. When people are in relationships, careers, or other situations that don't resonate with their soul, they don't touch, they don't relate, they don't feel anything good. They hold in resentment and transfer they hold in resentment and transfer their nastiness onto other people rather than take responsibility for their lives. They blame others, and that is so true. Mean people are bored. Mean people are bored. This is psychology today. What's up with mean people? Mean people are bored. Spreading misery takes a great deal of work, which fills the gap for those with unconsciously boring lives. I know I'm repeating this, okay? People with satisfying and meaningful lives are generally too stimulated and busy to hurt other people for real. Mean people practice victimizing and villainizing. Have you ever seen a mean person take responsibility for their role when they have issues with other people? Probably not. Their tendency is to blame, to bully, to shame and badmouth other people to make themselves look better. And that is so, so true. And it has a continue here. Let me go and see what this is. So, whatever the attention or intention, excuse me, nobody deserves to be emotionally abused. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody deserves to be emotionally abused. They're most likely struggling. In lieu of casting a voodoo spell, please consider the following. Empathize with mean people. Put yourself in the shoes of the mean person. Take a step back and imagine living in a dark and lonely world where misery brings joy. And it has this exclamation, ouch. Okay? Then another thing, avoid mean people. You do not deserve this treatment. Remember, you do not deserve to be mistreated. I don't care who it is. Whoever it is being mean to you, you do not deserve it. And I know some people, when they get sick, when they're in other situations, they get mean and hateful. Whatever the situation, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to be mistreated. And people take their anger, their hatefulness out on the people that many times, it's the people who do the most for them. Who do the most for them. I know you've seen that. I know you have. Okay, so you do not deserve this treatment. Keep your distance. Do not give them attention. They will eventually give up. Eventually, they'll give up. If needed, document interactions if they elevate. That's right. Keep a record because mean people will blame you for stuff. Sometimes they'll do stuff and blame you. You need a record. Smile at mean people. If you do not have the luxury of avoiding, then just flash a smile. The goal is to be cordial and not give them any ammunition to create a situation or a fake story. So if they say something to you, not engaging is taking the high road as well as being the bigger and better person. Next, let mean people expose themselves. And that's it. Let mean people expose themselves. You cannot hide trash without it starting to smell. For real. You cannot hide trash without it starting to smell. Mean people do not realize that wishing and acting unkind toward others is their inner filth oozing out uncontrollably. Outward beauty will eventually get overshadowed by the inner ugly. And that is so true. What is it? That song, Beauty's skin deep, but ugly is to the bone, for real. Do not retaliate to mean people. And this is a very important point. We have to watch ourselves. We have to be careful. We have to be careful, be careful, be cautious. Do not retaliate to mean people. Always be the person who ascends, ASCNDS, above the nonsense without lowering, LOWERING, yourself to their level. Break the toxic cycle and show them what strength, class, grace, dignity, and maturity look like. And that's for real. Then oh man, this is so good. Now, what's up with mean people? What's up with mean people? We are learning today. Hi, thank you so much for being with me today. Okay, create a mental mantra to help deal with mean people for tough moments. A mental mantra. Okay, let's see what this is. I always like to do this. A mental mantra. It's a sacred utterance, a numinous sound, a syllable, word, or phonemes, phone- phonemes, or a group of words, okay? Now, it's risks and challenges, but anyway, I don't like that definition. I don't like that. What it said seems like it's telling you to kind of act like you're casting a spell on them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. Okay. Do not retaliate to mean people. Create a mental mantra to help deal with mean people for a tough moment. So you can have something in your head, like, they say over and over, I'm not going to be bothered today. I'm not going to be bothered today. I'm not going to let this person get to me today. I'm not going to let them make me angry. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be collected. That's what we'll say. Okay, that's what we'll say, that mental mantra. All right. So, oh, we're almost at the end of it. Almost. So when you have been struck by them, by the mean people, remember that they are struggling and desperate. And see, this is what we have to make ourselves remember, that there's something going on with these people. There's something inside them mentally and emotionally and physically many times that causes them to act and react the way that they do by being mean and bullying people. So, what we have to do when we have been struck by them, remember that they are struggling and desperate. We have to have compassion on them. Not saying that we stick around and let them mistreat us. I'm not saying that. Have compassion. And like I said earlier, try to put yourselves in their place. Put yourself in their place and try to, uh, what's it, empathize. Try to, well, not just feel all that hurt and everything, but just try to feel just a little bit and try to figure it out what's going on, but don't hurt yourself trying to figure it out, okay? And if you can't empathize, try to sympathize with them, okay? Sympathize with them. So when you have been struck by them, remember they are struggling and desperate. In order not to retaliate, use a mantra or affirmation statement to help maintain a sense of calm. See, I just went ahead and fixed that myself. I'm not going to let them hurt me today. I'm not going to be a victim today. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be calm. I have to deal with them. I am not going to let them anger me or upset me. I'm going to stay cool. Okay? So, whether it's poor thing, get some help, or go, uh, anyway, they have this in here. Silently repeat or write in a journal. Silent and journaling is good, okay? Journaling is good. Pray for mean people. Pray for mean people. They might not realize it, but they need help. They might not realize it, but mean people need help. Send them some positive energy and hope a light shines into their dark place, because sometimes we cannot imagine the darkness people are experiencing, and they don't know how to come out of that darkness. And then when people respond to them in a dark way, that adds to that darkness. So that doesn't help them any. So that's why we have to sympathize, we have to empathize, we have to try to help them by being nice to them, but then not being their doormat or their person to afflict, okay? And inflict punishment upon. All right? So they might not realize it, but they do need help. Send them some positive energy and hope a light shines into their dark place. And then here's another one. We might not have thought about this. Thank mean people. Maintain a sense of gratitude. They are helping you become stronger and provide a screaming example of who you do not want to be. As difficult and painful as it was, feel grateful that you learned through their mistakes and not your own. And now that's the point. Let it be theirs and not yours. Okay? Theirs and not yours. With whom do you need to create boundaries in your life? With whom do you need to create boundaries in your life? Joanne Broder, a professor at St. Joseph's University and a consultant in research process and organization development. And I let me see when this piece was put in here, but it's Broder. This is 2019, September 27th, 2019. All right. This is Psychology Today. Hi, thank you for being with me. What's up with mean people? All right. Now we're going to go to why do people want to be good? Why do people want to be good? Why do people want to be good? We're coming out of the meanness now. And look, we spent about 25 minutes or 24 minutes on that. So we're going to have that time to spend on being good. Why be good? And this is because the consequences of doing good are more favorable than those of not being good. This can be seen no matter how we interpret the meaning of being good. For children, being good means obeying one's parents. By being good, we gain parental approval and avoid punishment. And then I have this piece, why should I be good? But I want to go, I think I'm going back to psychology today. Yes. Why do human beings do good things? The puzzle of altruism. The puzzle. And this is by Steve Taylor, PhD, Out of the Darkness. Out of the Darkness. Come on now. Uh, Altruism isn't always just disguised self-interest. Pure altruism does exist. Pure altruism does exist. Let me try to get this um, working here. Altruism is a principle and practice of concern for the well-being and/or happiness of other humans or animals. That's what it is. All right. Now, in 2007, this is Psychology Today, a construction worker named Wesley Autry was standing on a subway platform in New York when a young man nearby had an epileptic seizure. Let me close some of this stuff. Okay. Wesley Autry was standing on the subway. Why do we want to be good? Okay. First, we went with what's up with mean people. Now we're going to go, why do we want to be good? Wesley Autry was standing on a subway platform in New York when a young man nearby had an epileptic seizure and rolled onto the track. Hearing the approach of a train, Wesley Autry impulsively jumped down to try to save the young man, only to realize that the train was approaching too fast. Instead, he jumped on top of the young man's body and pushed him down into a drainage ditch between the tracks. The train operator saw them, but it was too late to stop. 5 cars of the train passed over their bodies. Miraculously, both of them were uninjured. Asked later by the New York Times why he had done it, Autry said, I just saw someone who needed help. I did what I felt was right. And we have so many people in this world, and people say, this world is evil. It's not the world. It's not the world. God made the world. The world is good. Everything in here that He made, He said, that's good. But then He put us here. Then Adam and Eve disobeyed Him in the Garden of Eden. And that's why we have all of this meanness and all of this going on here today. The world is great. It's just the people, the spirits, and all that in the world that make things bad. All right? All right. So, the question of why human beings are sometimes prepared to risk their own lives to save others has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. From an evolutionary point of view, altruism doesn't seem to make any sense. According to the modern neo Darwinian view, according to the neo Darwinian view, human beings are basically selfish. Hmm, Darwin said that about us, okay? Now, after all, we are only really carriers of thousands of genes whose only aim is to survive and replicate themselves. We shouldn't be interested in sacrificing ourselves for others or even in helping others. It's true that, in genetic terms, it's not necessarily self defeating for us to help people close to us, our relatives or distant cousins. They carry many of the same genes as us, and so helping them may help our genes to survive. But what about when we help people who have no relation to us or even animals? Now, egoic altruism, okay? Egoic altruism. Egoic altruism. This next section here. We're in psychology today. We were in what's up with mean people now. Why do we want to be good? According to some psychologists, there is no such thing as pure altruism. That means wanting the best, wanting to do good and help other people to be happy and treat them good and all that. So when we help strangers or animals, there must always be some benefit to us, even if we're not aware of it. Altruism makes us feel good about ourselves. It does. It makes us feel good about ourselves. It makes other people respect us more, or it might, so far as we believe, increase our chances of getting into heaven. Oh, yes, that's what we're striving to do. Get into heaven. We're striving to get into heaven. All right. Or perhaps altruism is an investment strategy. We do good deeds to others in the hope that they will return the favor someday when we are in need. And it does help do good to those, what is it, to other people. It said, what is the, so that whatever you do for others, it'll come back to you. Okay? Whatever you do to others, I believe that it will come back to you. Or perhaps altruism is an investment strategy. We do good deeds to others in the hope that they will return the favor someday when we are in need. This is known as reciprocal altruism. According to evolutionary psychologists, it could even be a way of demonstrating our resources, showing how wealthy or able we are, so that we become more attractive to the opposite sex and have enhanced reproductive possibilities. And this is getting to get deep right here. Do unto others as you would them do unto you. Karma, one way or the other, Karma. The good karma, if you do good, it'll bring good. If you do bad, it'll bring bad, okay? Do unto others as you would them do unto you. All right. Finally, talking about these evolutionary psychiatrists, have also suggested, let me get a drink here. I feel a little ting right here. The psychologists have also suggested that altruism towards strangers may be a kind of mistake, a leftover trait from when human beings lived in small groups with people we were genetically closely related to. Of course, we felt an instinct to help other members of our group because our own survival depended on the safety of the group as a whole, and because more indirectly this would support the survival of our genes. We don't live in small tribes of extended family anymore, but we habitually behave as if we are, helping the people around us as we are related to them. There are some people that still have these family things, like um, have these compounds and things with their families and everything. So they really do. Okay, so what all these explanations have in common is that they are really attempts to explain away altruism. They remind me of my attempts to excuse my indolence when my wife comes home and finds that I haven't done the DIY jobs I promised to. This is the writer talking. So their attempts to make excuses for altruism. Please excuse my kindness, but I was really just trying to look good in the eyes of other people. Sorry for helping you, but it's a trait I picked up from my ancestors thousands of years ago, and I just can't seem to get rid of it. Pure altruism. What is pure altruism? Talking about what's up with the mean people? We did that first. Now we're talking about why do I want to be good? Pure altruism. That's wanting the best of good for all others, okay? Now, I don't doubt, this is a writer talking, that these reasons apply sometimes. Many acts of kindness may be primarily or just partly motivated by self interest. But is it naive to support that pure altruism can exist as well? I believe it can. I really do. An act of pure altruism, such as Wesley Autry's, may make you feel better about yourself afterwards, or it may increase other people's respect for you, or increase your chances of being helped in return at a later point. But it's possible that at the very moment when the act takes place, your only motivation is an impulsive, unselfish desire to alleviate suffering. And I really believe that. I really believe that yesterday, he's telling us, the writer is saying, yesterday, this is the day before he posted this, I was about to have a shower and saw a spider near the plug hole of our bath. I got out of the shower, found a piece of paper, gently encouraged the spider onto it, and scooped it out of danger. Why did I do this? Perhaps in the hope that a spider would do the same for me in the future, or that the spider would tell his friends what a great person I am. Or more seriously, perhaps it was a result of moral conditioning, a respect for living things, and an impulse to do good, which was ingrained in me by my parents. Although, come to think of it, my parents didn't teach me those things. And some parents haven't didn't teach their children all these things because we've all had different types of parents. Some parents, were what we would call good parents, but we had good parents, and I know you did too. No, he said, I think this simple act was motivated by empathy, and I do because sometimes like just like this man did, you don't want to squash it, but then you think that thing might grow up and come back, or it might come back and bite me someday. So you have to make that decision at that time, okay? I empathized with the spider as another living being who was entitled to stay alive just as I was. And I believe that empathy is the root of all pure altruism. Sometimes empathy is described as a cognitive ability to see the world through another person's eyes, but I think it's actually much more than that. In my view, says the author, the capacity for empathy shows that, in essence, All human beings, and in fact, all living beings, are interconnected, and I believe that too. At some deep level, we are expressions of the same consciousness. As several philosophers of consciousness, such as David Chalmers, have suggested, it may be that rather than producing consciousness, the function of the brain may be to receive or channel a consciousness which exists outside the brain and which in fact permeates the whole universe. Consciousness may be a fundamental force of the universe like gravity. Now, altruism and connectedness. Altruism and connectedness. Talking about being good now. Why do we want to be good? What motivates us to be good? What's it all about? Hi, thank you again for being with me. It's the fundamental oneness that makes it possible for us to identify with other people, to sense their suffering and respond to it with altruistic acts. We can sense their suffering because, in a sense, we are them. And because, let me let me do this. I'm in psychology today again, okay? And because of this common identity, we feel the urge to alleviate other people's suffering and to protect and promote their well being just as we would our own. In other words, or in the words of the 19th century German philosopher Schopenhauer, my own true inner being actually exists in every living creature as truly and immediately known as my own consciousness in myself. This is the ground of compassion upon which all true, that is to say, unselfish, virtue rests, and whose expression is in every good deed. So, in other words, there is no need to make excuses for altruism. Instead, we should celebrate it as a transcendence of seeming separateness, okay? Rather than being unnatural, altruism is an expression of our most fundamental nature, that of correctedness. And this author here is a senior lecturer in psychology at Leeds Beckett University in the UK. He said, I am the author of Spiritual Science, Why Science Needs Spirituality to Make Sense of the World. And you know, that is so true. And I'm talking about spirituality from God's spirituality. And this is Steve Taylor, PhD. How about that? Oh, this is some good stuff. And why should I be good? Why should we be good? Huh? Why should we be good? And this is philosophynow.org. And I have, what is it, 12 minutes, I think? Why should I be good? Question of the month. And this Philosophy Now is a magazine of ideas, and it's philosophynow.org. Why should I be good? Wow. Let me uh, enlarge my font here so I can read comfortably. The following readers answers to this central philosophical question each win a random book. Oh, why? Why should I be good? The term good has many uses. We might say, Kevin is a good footballer. This is a good pen. Who likes a good pen? I do. Good right. Oh, yes. It's a good thing my train arrived on time. But in none of these cases does good have any moral implication. Kevin's being a good footballer does not in itself make Kevin a good person. Yet, when I ask why I should be good, I take this to be equivalent to my asking why I should be a good person. This is a question that underlies moral action. Whoa. When I say that Phyllis is a good person, I do not mean that she performs some particular function well. Persons can perform various functions or roles and can perform these better or worse, but it is not these capacities that we are interested in when we ask whether some person is good. If Phyllis is a good person, this is not because she functions well, but because she acts rightly. I like this. I like this. So, why should I act rightly? Let's ask ourselves, why should I act rightly? Acting rightly is a matter of doing the right thing. But why should I do the right thing? Some might respond that that's a silly question because doing the right thing is simply doing what is right to do, what it is right to do. And if something is the right thing to do, it is simply what one ought to do, and there is no more to be said. Isn't this good? Thank you so much for being with me today. What's up with mean people? And why should we be good? Why should I be good? All right. I think there is some sense in this point. This is philosophynow.org. All right. Acting right is a matter of doing the right thing. To ask why I should act rightly is to invite tautological response. Tautological response. What is tautological? Let's go there and find that word. Let's find it. Come on. Come on. Saying or expressing the same thing twice over in different words. Saying or expressing the same thing twice over in different words. Okay. And have you've done that before? We all have done that. Say, don't do that again. Like we say that, don't do that again. And then we can say, I'd rather you not do that again, or something different like that, but expressing the same thing but using different words. Okay, so that's what tautological is. All right, so the author is saying this is Dr. Burley, University Leeds. Michael. Oh, look, names spell like okay. He said, to ask why I should act rightly is to invite a tautological response. I should act rightly because that's the right way to act. And similarly, I should be good because it is good to be good. This shows that concepts such as goodness and rightness cannot readily be analyzed into more basic constituents. And so I know this is from a different country. It might be the UK because of the way they spell the words. So I am confident that I should indeed be good and that this means doing the right thing. But I now need to determine what the right thing to do is. And there, as Shakespeare says it, is the rub. Dr. Michael Berkeley, University of Leeds. Why be good? Because the consequences of doing good are more favorable than those of not being good. True. This can be seen no matter how we interpret the meaning of being good. For children, being good means obeying one's parents. And I read this in the beginning, remember? By being good, we gain parental approval and avoid punishment. Now, that we all know about that, don't we? Extending this to the social norms of one's community. Being good means being a good citizen. As such, we gain the approval and avoid the scorn of those whose opinions matter to us, not to mention avoiding fines and jail sentences. Now, that's for real. To a more mature mind, being good might mean obeying the dictates of one's conscience, an internal voice which judges our actions as right or wrong, as worthy of one's own approval or disapproval. By being good, we gain a sense of uprightness, of rectitude, and we avoid feeling guilt and shame. Guilt, we avoid feeling guilt and shame. All right. Rectitude is morally correct behavior or thinking, righteousness. All right. Now, further reflection leads us to wonder where the voice of conscience comes from and what the justification is for what that voice tells us. Okay, why should I be good? Why should we be good? This is really good. All right. So we find ourselves with a sense of duty and wonder who or what imposes that duty. Many believe that God defines the moral rules and imposes the sense of duty. God is thus a surrogate parent, and by being good, we gain divine reward and we hope, that's in parentheses, and by being good, we gain divine reward and avoid the divine punishment. And then they put we hope in parentheses. All right. So Kant alleged that the dictates of pure reason impose the duty to act so that the principles on which we act could be universalized without contradiction. For a rational being, contradiction is certainly unfavorable. And I like that commercial. Espada says, what is integrity? Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. I like that. I like that. And that can go with this. Others postulate an unseen world of moral values, not unlike Plato's world of forms, which the moral sense somehow apprehends. Others postulate, when I don't, I have to get used to this, to my thing. And you know where I'm going, don't you? All right. Postulate, suggest or assume the existence, fact, or truth of something as a basis for reasoning, discussion, or belief. Okay? So others postulate an unseen world of moral values, not unlike Plato's world of forms, FORMS, which the moral sense somehow apprehends. The consequences of doing one's duty on this view are a sense of being in harmony with moral reality, of being virtuous and worthy of approval, whether or not anyone actually approves. Ah, yeah. Why should we be good? And these are other people's answers too. And it's really, really good. All these meanings of being good involve obeying moral rules. In another sense, to be good means to be, oh, it's 1:59, and I'm going to stop right here. And this is from Bill Meacham in Austin, Texas. All these meanings of being good involve obeying moral rules. In another sense, to be good means to be of benefit to someone or something. By being of benefit to other people and to our environment, we can create a milieu in which everyone flourishes, including ourselves. Whether we succeed depends on our skill in choosing actions that have good consequences in any sense of being good. Consequences are of utmost importance. importance. That is so true. Oh my goodness, these people entered a contest for this. All right. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being with me today. You are awesome. You are awesome. And I just thank God for blessing us to be back here one more time. One more time. And remember, if you want one of the prizes, let me know. Let me know. Okay. I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day. God loves you so much. And I do too.
Oh God, I'm calling on you. Oh God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray. Can you hear me? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you feel